Hello. You knew I couldn't let this one get past me. This is the Ingersoll lock, and with the new fantastic tool that is out from Jason Hillier. It's essentially a lishi, a doubled up one. Everything about this is much more beefy than a normal lishi, as you might see. It's an entrapped lever arm here, which means it's in between, it's like sandwiched between two, and that enables us to get onto a lever very precisely and not move forwards and backwards off it. Great design. It makes a lock which has eluded most locksmiths to this point. I don't know many people who could pick Ingersoll cylinders, and especially not live on a door anyway. I think we're going to start seeing it much more now that this tool is out. I'm going to do a little demo here. We're going to try anyway. I've never had much luck picking Ingersoll locks at all, so I've had about an hour's playing with this and I've managed to get a couple open, so I'm going to try and repeat that again for you here. There are other videos out there already on this, which has some great information on how to go about picking these things. I have a bit of extra information here for you as well regarding the locks themselves. So if you don't know what an Ingersoll lock is, it's a lock in the UK, mostly London, usually on a night latch type lock. It's a solid bolt. It's double locking in a lot of cases as well, so if you close the door and turn the key an extra one, the handle on the inside doesn't open the door or anything like that. So in most cases when we get an Ingersoll lock and we need the door open, if somebody's locked out and it's a slam shut, then they're going to have other ways that we can open that lock without touching the cylinder. Flat doors, very common in London, and they don't have letterboxes and things like that, which we would usually use. Again, there are other methods to do it without touching the cylinder, but a little bit destructive. So any way that we can do it without being destructive, much better. Here is a core out from an Ingersoll, and as you see there's an S stamp on the back that represents the profile of the cylinder. This is an S profile. There are a few other different profiles as well, like a and D and another one which I'm not sure. I'll give you a quick example of that. I can show you, this is an S profile, the same as what is in the vise here. And then if we look here, I've got some keys which is on the A profile. If we hold that up next to each other, we can see it's much more wavy, let's say, or paracentric. The pick, unfortunately, will not fit or pick these locks. Thankfully, this is the most common one we will ever come across. It is the S section. And this is what we're most likely to be dealing with on the door, and it is what the lock will pick, so fantastic. A very quick note here. Naturally, we grabbed hold of some locks here to give this pick a test. This is brand new locks, and it struggles at first to operate inside this lock. So we can get the pick fully into the lock. At the moment that's not fully in. We see here it's not seated properly. We move this picking arm in a little bit. Now we can press it that bit further. So without applying any tension onto this lock, they're really not made like they used to be. I believe they're made in China now with plastic components inside where they used to be brass, like this one here. As you see, it's 10 levers inside. This is like a drop arm that will drop down into gates that you can see down in there. This part is the part that is now plastic. So as we go here, we've got the levers that we're pressing. You see it's springing back. Now in this new lock, you'll see it's quite a struggle to actually get this to move into the lock. And with a wiggle, we'll get there. And when we push the lever down, it stays stuck down, which can be an issue when we're looking for spring back. And I've got no tension on here, obviously, and it's not springing back up, so that's a problem. Now, it's very unlikely that we're ever really going to come across a brand new cylinder on the door that we need to open when talking about Ingersolls. they're more often than not an old one like this, and it's not going to give us an issue. The pick fits in there and moves quite nicely, and we won't have any issues. If you do have a new one, I've got another brand new one here. Now this one, I've been putting some WD-40 in, as you can see, and I've been running the key in and out of the lock and giving it a wiggle back and two. Really, even with the key, it's a bit stiff because they're just made badly these days. But doing that has enabled me to move my pick through the cylinder a little bit easier. So it is still possible, even if we get a brand new cylinder on the door. It's just going to take a bit more time to prepare the cylinder to be picked, and that's all really. So enough waffling on. We're going to get this pick into this lock, and we're going to try and pick it. I'll tell you what I'm feeling as I go. So clockwise, I am told, is the easier direction to pick these locks in. So we will do so with a little bit more tension than you would usually use on most lishi picks as well. That's why the whole thing's a bit more beefy, because you got to put a bit of tension on this. It's also why it comes with this. It doesn't come with this, it comes with a different one. It's also why it comes with a tension rod as well, just to give you a bit more leverage. Now, it'll take you a lot of practice to get this lock done, because tension needs to be varied throughout the picking process. You need to learn what things feel like and what certain things that the lock is, sounds that they're making and stuff like that is telling you things about the levers inside. So, excuse me. So if we're looking at the chart here, we can see 1 to 4, 1 to 4 is the chart. So that's 4 different heights that could possibly be cut on one side of the key. This is a double-sided key, as you can see in the background there. So bit of pressure on, and just like with any lishi, we're looking for springiness. And if you're really quiet, you're in a quiet area as well, or you're sat in a vise like I am doing here, once you've got a lever gated correctly, you will hear it tapping as it springs. So that's very helpful when we get a certain lever which is actually at a cut number 4, which means we will barely press this down, if at all, because the blade of the pick is currently sat at a position height 4. So in those circumstances, we will get there and it won't really move. Some people may mistake that for a binding lever and will try to press it, but if you listen carefully, it taps. And I'm demonstrating that here because I know this position here is our lever height number 4, because I know this lock. There's no illusion. I've picked this a couple of times now just to make the video that little less long, even though this is going to be quite long with all my wittering on. I know the lock, so we should hopefully get it picked relatively quickly in regards to an Ingersoll. So here we go. Tension on, starting at the back. Springy on 5. Bit of pressure on 4. There we go. Now it dropped down, and now we're springy on 4. Now, as I said, I know this number 3 here is a 4 cut, but if I didn't, hopefully you can hear that tapping. So we're going to leave him there. He's got spring to him. This one doesn't. It is springing back up. It just takes a bit more effort, so we'll move on. One at the front here, that's springing. 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 Okay, that's tight. Now it's springing. This 4 here is tight. Got a lovely click, and now it's springing. Lovely click out the one at the back, and again, listen for the tapping. It's good to go. Okay, bound up here at the back. Nice little click. And now it's tapping. And we'll move through. That's still, again, we hear it tapping. We'll move through, doing the same thing on every one until something changes. Okay, 3 here's tight. Four here is tight. Come loose. 2, gone loose. Three again. There we go. Loose, loose, loose. Oh, another little click out of that one. Still tapping there. Loose. Okay, this one here now. Loose. Bit higher on that one. We've got a lovely click and that's springing. Very close now. This one. Nice. This one. No. There we go. There we go, finally. The lock opens. That will go all the way around 360. It won't lock up at 180 or anything like that, as the key is different on each side. Whilst this is turned, we can, like with most lishis, remove the pick. We can plug spin the cylinder if we needed to, if we went the wrong way. There we go. So, because it's going to be a long video anyway, we'll just crack on. We'll do another one here. This is one of the new cylinders. Just going to show you. There's the key. Now the key is stiff as it goes already. And that can be to do with this rose as well. It might bind up on the core at the front. If it was fitted into a door properly, that rose would be more in a fixed position and it wouldn't really move about on us. So this is a lock that I've filled with WD-40 and I've wrangled the key around in it a lot to hopefully free up our picking arm a little bit more here for picking. And very much the same as the first one. Pressure on. I'm starting at the back. Now I got a click on the back one and it went solid. Let's see if I can do that again with it being the first one. So if you press it too much, there's no spring. If we let off on the tension a little bit, there we go, pops back up and we got the spring back. We overset it and we needed to just release a little bit to get that back. Okay, springing. And getting that tapping again in that same place. Same goes for that. This one's solid. Oh, there we go, springy. A little bit of a give on that one. That's tapping. Oh, that went up. Here we go. Feels solid. Okay, got a little click. 4 solid. There we go, nice. Again, that's tapping. That's tapping. That's springy, springy. Solid. There we go. Springing out. Oh, a little click there. That's tapping. 4. Springing. 5 springing. Start again. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. 1. 2. 3. 4. Unsure about that one. Release tension a bit. Whoop. Okay, that might have got him. Let's see. Go back around again. tight here. Come on. Oh, and there she goes. So it's bound up, it's tight, you know. They just really don't make them. Oh dear. I think it's the rose, to be honest. We won't have that problem on a door. But there it is. We've picked 2 Ingersoll locks, albeit taking me quite a while to do. It's still something that I wasn't able to do in the past, and now I can. I have this tool. If I come to a door with an Ingersoll that needs opening without other possibilities of opening it, at least non-destructive anyway, I'll be able to give this a go, and more likely than not, I'll get the door open with this tool. So, thanks Jason for making a wicked tool. As ever, I'll put the links down in the description where you can buy these from if you're interested. Is it a lock sporter's tool? Maybe not. These cylinders are expensive, and like I said, they're pretty much solely based in London in the UK, so you won't see many of them elsewhere. They are about, but you'd be hard pushed to find one. So if you're coming across these locks in the field and you need to open them, it answers it for you. You need the tool. If not, make your own judgment. People like to buy tools anyway, and it is a fun one if you've got some of these locks knocking around. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.